What up, socialites? It's Jason Lee, and today I'm interviewing Missterray, aka Ray Cunningham of Love and Hip Hop. So let's get to it. Missterray, aka Boogie Down Brawler. Welcome to the Hollywood Unlocked office.
Welcome. This is nice. It's very nice. I'm proud of you.
I mean, you know, we're paying our bills these days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody that knows, they know you now. If they didn't know you before this season, you've been around in the reality TV world. We're going to talk about what happened at the Love and Hip Hop reunion because, of course, everybody online is talking about it.
Everybody.
So listen.
And I have the bruises to prove it.
Okay, before we get into all of your war wounds, let's talk about how, for the people that don't know you before Love and Hip Hop, let's tell everybody where you should be known from and what you've done in the business.
Of course, my name is Ray Cunningham. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. 2006, I was on BET's College Hill. I was the first gay talent to be on BET. When I first moved here to Los Angeles, Jason Lee was actually one of the first people I met when I moved here. We met at an SWV BBD In Vogue concert. Long story short, since then I've gone on to do Roland Martin corresponding work, do TMZ call-in guest work. I've done Good Morning Washington. Actually had a radio show in Washington, D.C. on WKYS with Little Mo called The Fam in the Morning. And then I came here to Los Angeles and started doing PR for my company, Social Status PR. And I got on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood through my association with Masika and Moniz.
Okay, so there's lots to talk about with those two. Okay,
Right.
so let's start. So you got the call and you were told that you could be a part of Love and Hip Hop.
I was called.
How'd that call go?
So the call was crazy. I was actually on my way to the Beverly Center. I got a phone call from casting. Lisa Lee King.
Okay.
Hey, we've heard about you from various cast members outside of Masika Moniz, and we're interested in you, who you are, how many people you know, and your connection to Hollywood and your connection to the entertainment industry. What do you have going on in your life? And I said, well, I just moved here literally a month ago. I'm relaunching my PR company, Social Status. And I said, I'm back in Hollywood. Like, the bitch is back. Like, people know me from back in the day. Like, Ray back in the day and Ray now are two different people. But back in the day when you and I used to hang out a lot, we were at every red
And now
carpet.
there's two different Jason Lees. That's a whole different situation than now. But
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard about the show and immediately you say, yeah, I want to do it, or did you at least think about it because you know Love and Hip Hop is very
definitely
different
hesitant to do it. I called my manager, talked with my lawyer, called my family back home, and I just was like, Love and Hip Hop might be a little off-brand for me, just considering the action that goes on in the show and considering what I was doing, because currently before I started Love and Hip Hop, I'm still am the WeTV digital host. So I do all their recaps, little reunion specials, all their reality awards at the end of the year. And I just was saying, Lord, if I go back on reality TV, am I gonna get slapped, kicked, punch, hit? What am I gonna lose some blood if I go back to this on reality TV? So Love and Hip Hop was definitely a decision for me because there was another show that I was considering to do. And I said, you know what, Love and Hip Hop's a large platform. College Hill was the biggest platform at that time, and I felt like at this current time with this new generation, Love and Hip Hop was a new platform, new demographic. And I said, I'm known in Hollywood. I know these people organically. There's no scripted storyline here. From Tierra to Hazel down to Ray J. I know these people, so let's do it.
So did you think, so when you talked to producers and if you came back to LA to relaunch your publicity company, did you talk to producers about what you want to do, what you want to do with your brand, what you want to get out of the deal?
Definitely.
And do you feel like you got that?
I feel like with relaunching my PR company, I will say that yes, VH1 has promoted Social Status. You can't buy that type of branding and publicity anywhere. I mean, you and I know, you with your company, with mine, that's free on-air publicity. Social Status name is out there. Whether the event goes off without a hitch or goes off with drama, it's gonna be good publicity. And that's what I look at.
So you had your events through the show?
Through the show, yeah.
Okay.
All my
Now,
events.
which events were yours? Because every event that I saw on the show ended with somebody being drug out, injured, bleeding, food being thrown, drinks, shade, or the kind.
That's Love and Hip Hop. The Kari Barbie event was mine. I had my own Social Status event, several Social Status launch events. The one that made the air was the one where we ended up leaving my event to go to the Teen Sky party that he hosted for her with Lyrica performing. Coming up on the season, you're going to see a couple. We threw Safari's Going Away Party. We threw.
And you did that.
I did that. We did Chanel West Coast event, and then I had an event at World on Wheels. So the next couple episodes up until the finale, you'll see a lot of social status looks.
Okay, so you get signed up for Love and Hip Hop, and you clearly know that. I mean, because for me, I did the show for 2 seasons. Great platform, huge platform, helpful in launching my business, put me out there on a worldwide stage. But I knew this season they wanted a certain demographic. They wanted gay guys to come in there and fight. Did you know when you were signing up that that's what you were going to get?
I didn't know what I was going to get because originally I thought you were going to be on there. I didn't know what guy was going to be on there. And when they mentioned his name to me in casting, I was like, oh, I've met him before. That's a friend of mine's ex. I don't deal with him. I don't know him.
So we're talking about Zell Swag.
Yeah.
Okay.
He won't ever get
AKA Royal Rumble Part 2. Okay, so you find out he's in the show, and then when did you guys go from not really knowing each other to having straight full on beef?
My first scene filming this season was the Kari Barbie event, and originally when I was told that he was going to be there, and I was like, okay, I already knew T about him. I just knew what I heard about him.
What did you hear? Anybody
that knew about him knew that he was Joe Exclusive's ex, which is a mutual friend of ours. And I heard about their very turbulent relationship, from the physical abuse to the verbal abuse. People telling me that Joe was in the hospital at different times.
He was a victim of domestic
violence. Yeah, basically. And as a loyal friend to Joe, even though I had moved away from LA for 5 years and I was hearing these things in DC and moving back, I was like, he's someone I don't want to deal with. I blocked him years ago, just from what I was hearing about him and dealing with Joe and how he got here and what he was doing to Joe behind his back. So as a loyal friend, and Joe's not a character on Love and Hip Hop, I was just like, I don't want to deal with that. He's been blocked. So when I came to the show and I'm standing off to the side waiting for my cue to go in, he's like, oh, he blocked me. I don't even know him like that. So the whole basis of our beef this season. Before you even got
in the room, that's
what had hurt. So before we even got the show going good in the Kari Barbie event, he's mad at me because he's blocked. Like, you're that pressed because you're blocked. I'm not the first person to block Zell Swag. I'm sure he's blocked from your page too.
So, okay, so you go into the scene. What happened? So the conversation, because I know how editing made it change things. Is what we saw what happened?
There was definitely some dialogue left out because we were having a conversation.
It was a build-up.
It was a build-up to it. Okay. So when Masika started introducing me, he started disrespecting me then. And I'm looking at him like, you don't even know me. We've never even had a conversation. Only thing you know about me at this point possibly is that you're blocked.
So do you feel like he came into the show with the intent to be aggressive?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. I mean, from the fat jokes at the beginning, like, this is Kari Barbie, my first scene filming. He started filming before me. Okay. Unfortunately, I had a death in the family, and I was not mentally ready to start filming right away in February. I came a little later. My aunt was found hanging in Pasadena, at my grandmother's house in Pasadena. So I was not ready to start at the beginning of filming, which is why you guys didn't see me the first 3 episodes. I just mentally was not there, and I'm thankful for Moniece and AD for being supportive of me of that. So when I came in, my first scene, I'm like, oh, it's my event. This is gonna be lit, and it's him. It literally was lit. It was him. The fat jokes, the disrespect, and oh, you sleep in Moniece's house. You're homeless, and I'm like, do you see that on Snapchat? Because I do go to Moniece's house. That is a friend of mine. But I'm not homeless. I clearly have a place. And then he was just saying things I guess he saw online. And I was like, okay, I've heard about you. I've heard about you borrowing clothes in Keisha Cole's name. And the only reason I said that was because the dress that he pulled that he gave to Moniece to wear, that designer hit Moniece up on social media saying, hey, that dress was pulled by this person for Keisha Cole, and you have it on.
Okay. But you didn't say that in the show.
I said it.
Okay.
Said you
I remember you said that, but you didn't say how you found that out.
Well, Moniece told me.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
But now, were him and Moniece friends? At first, they were friends.
They were cool.
Because he was friends with Masika and Moniece, right?
This is how I took their friendship.
This is what I can't stand about the show. I mean, I love producers, and they all know I gotta keep it 1,000. I don't know. This season seemed like there was Team A and Team B. So it was like, if you were a part of this team, then you have to fight all these people. And if you're a part of this team, versus just, in Hollywood, we cool one day, we not cool the next day. You have beef, whatever. But like, do you feel like when he came in the show, was he their friend because you were their friend?
I've always been their friend.
Okay.
I've actually known Moniece as long as I've known you in real life. I've known Masika when I left LA to go, when I moved away, I met Masika and Nia and all them then. Everyone else, Tierra, all them, I go back. Hazel, we go back. Ray J, we go back. Keisha, even when I was at BET, we go back. Of course, on the show, they made it seem like I only knew these two girls and I didn't know the rest of the cast and whatnot. And that's just how editing, and they don't have a time to elaborate on who knows who. But coming into the situation, those were my friends first. So, of course, they're going to welcome me back. I never heard about Zell from Masika Moniece, and at the time when I was cool with Nia, I never heard about him from Nia. Never heard of his name. But again, if you're the homie and you get clothes for free or whatever homie hookup you got, he's not a friend. You're the help. So no, I wouldn't hear of you from them to me.
Okay, so one thing I said to you and Zell outside the show before you guys signed up, or before you guys started filming, I said, don't get caught up in the show and lose your brand, because the show can become so big and violent and crazy, and it almost seems like it's sort of like, you know, if a dog shits in the middle of the floor and you give him a treat, he's gonna keep shitting on the floor because you keep giving this dog a reward. I'm not saying we're dogs, but you know, us in the cast, we are rewarded for bad behavior.
Well, he definitely got into it because from that scene, from the car party, my first time filming that night, he laid on the table, he stood up, started dancing around, jumping off the table, and he threw a champagne glass at me. So that's my first time. I was like, all right, bitch, I understand this is TV. Okay. The second time we filmed together, he leaped out of a chair at me, and I'm like, all right, bitch, you crazy, and I understand this is TV, girl. Let's get this together. But what you guys don't understand is that I saw Zell after that scene, and we had a conversation at a 7-Eleven.
Okay.
And he was like,
so you just, wait, look, walk me through it.
Right.
So you go to a 7-Eleven.
He's walking out as I'm walking in.
What are you going there to buy? Swisher Sweets, condoms, candy?
My fat ass was getting a Slurpee.
Okay, so you're going to 7-Eleven for a Slurpee, and you see Zell swag.
I see him, and he's like, let's have a conversation. I'm like, cool, let's have a conversation.
Okay.
At this point, we filmed several times together.
And you've had conflict already.
We've had conflict.
So now it's like, if it was real, it would be on site.
It'd have been on site. He'd have whooped my ass in front of 7-Eleven.
So y'all had a conversation.
And he's like, you know, fuck this TV stuff. I'm just here to make good TV. My dream all along has always been to be on reality TV. And I'm just like, what?
So
I'm like, okay.
So the conversation was civil.
It was interesting. I was like, listen, Zell. I said, I don't have an issue with you. My issue is with the situation you had with a friend of mine. And I just said in the beginning, I didn't want to deal with you. He's like, well, let's just do this TV thing. Let's get this TV money. And I'm just like, in his mind, he's looking at it as a business thing. Like, this is my moment to get out of whatever situation I'm in. As a reality TV veteran and someone who's working in the business at that point, I'm like, no, bitch, you're fucking crazy. You're jumping off tables, leaping off tables, jumping out of... You're giving away free pedicures that VH1 is paying for at this point to come and try to attack me. And matter of fact, the night that he leaped out of the pedicure chair and you saw in the episode, he was bleeding, He called me immediately and asked me, was I okay?
So, okay.
And I'm in my mind like, are you calling me and asking me am I okay?
So do you feel that he's just doing all this for television?
I feel he's 100% a TV puppet. He does what he needs to do to secure his spot.
Well, I will say, let me just say this, because I'm being completely neutral. I mean, at some point I'll probably talk to him, who knows. But you two both gave really good TV. I mean, the network definitely wanted drama, and I thought you guys both equally brought it. For you though, was it real? And for him, you feel it was fake?
For me, I was only defending myself. Again, this is someone... And then, I mean, just down to the production, to my cast members, I do stuff outside Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop ain't my first show. It ain't my only check. It's one of 5 checks I get. So whether I'm on that show or not, I'm still gonna pay my rent on time. I'm gonna be good, okay?
But do you think, well, probably not now because of the reunion, but do you think you all could have, you know, maybe developed into a love story this season?
A love story? I had a man that I was dating who actually ended up who was an ex of Zell, which I did not know about.
Wait, so is this the guy whose video I got a text while I was on a plane was sucking a bunch of dick?
Yes.
Okay, now what is going on in the Love and Hip Hop? What is going on? Okay, so wait, I'm on a plane. I'm flying in the friendly skies. I'm eating my peanuts, no pun intended, sipping on my little cocktail, no pun intended. I get a text message video, and it's a man who I had just seen in an episode with you as your man, sucking someone else's dick. What happened with that?
That video, I'm well aware of everything, and that's why this season you really didn't see me tweeting too much or saying too much or reacting. I was prepared for all of this.
Okay.
When I met Vic, about a year ago. I met him a year ago through Crystal, who is Neo's wife. He was her assistant then. We met at Hookah on Cafe Rouge, right there on Ventura. We met. We went from friends to friends with benefits, and we were actually dating. And I cared about Vic, but Vic told me up front, I dated all these people. I've been with these people. My ex and I have a video that used to be on Tumblr back in the day. He told me these things up front because I told him.
So it wasn't a surprise?
It wasn't a surprise to me. I already knew about it. Now, what I didn't know up front was him and Zell had messed around.
Okay, how did you find that out?
Well,
because that's who he was DMing?
That's who he was DMing.
Okay, but in the show, did he say that they had already messed around?
No, he didn't say it.
Okay.
Of course, they cut all that out. So, of course, I hit production up like, hey, before this man tries to one-up me, let me just put it out there. Because, on Love and Hip Hop, if you don't know something, they'll try to embarrass you. So I hit my producer up and was like, hey, the guy that I'm dealing with, the guy that you guys have been asking me about this on my social media, told me that he used to deal with Zell back in the day. He and I dealt with that privately. I was over it. But I said, I can deal with this. This was 2, 3, 4 years ago.
So are you and the guy still together?
No.
You guys broke up?
100% single.
What made you break up with him? We
were having our own issues outside of Love and Hip Hop, before Love and Hip Hop even started. That situation with Zell then escalated, and my boyfriend
But the way he was sucking dick, he looked like a bottom. I'm confused, because you're a bottom.
He's versatile.
Oh, he's versatile.
He's versatile.
Okay.
My boyfriend had big lips. Hey, whatever.
And lips was made.
I joked with him in text message. I said, that's a great video.
It was a good video. It was a good
And
video.
they were together him and his ex were together for 4 years. They lived together. Hey, whatever.
Okay, so back to Zell. So you and Zell have had some really rocky moments, some of the rockiest moments.
He was mad when he found out that Vic and I were together.
Okay.
He called Vic repeatedly. I can't believe you're with him. You're only with him because he's on this show and y'all are trying to embarrass me. He's not your type. I can't believe you're with him. You need, it ended up becoming their argument and not even me in it.
Okay.
Like him and Vic would go at it on social media where they were threatening each other, he's telling Vic to drop your location, I'll beat both y'all ass. Zell was texting me text messages and conversation. Everything that Zell put on the Instagram recently, he sent me months prior saying, oh, your man was DMing me. But from whatever he deleted out of the text, I had the original from Vic. And Vic was saying, oh, he's been hitting me up. Every time I post a picture at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, he's DMing me. But again, Vic and I were not public. I wasn't on Vic's page like that. He wasn't on mine like that.
Okay, so now back to you guys. So you guys are fighting in the show, and then you got to go to the reunion. When you get to the reunion, I know you're isolated in your room. Mm-hmm. You knew he was in the building. Did you expect that things were going? You expected drama?
I expected some bullshit, but I was very prepared for it.
Okay.
And again, with Love and Hip Hop, you trust security. You trust that this is the reunion. Something crazy is going to happen.
And there's way more security there than
it was for every one person. There was a security guard.
Yeah.
And I just knew it was going to be something. I said, well, my face is done. My hair looks cute. I got this sequin. This jacket was sequin out of this world. Like, you can't get no guarantee.
Okay, so you get to the reunion at about, what's your show, about 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
I don't remember what time we got there.
We started late. Early in the morning.
We started late.
You get there early.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get there. So what happens? You go on the stage because all we saw was videos.
When I first got to the reunion and they were walking me in, the cast were already sitting on the stage. Masika and I were the last 2 to come in. And he was already sitting down and they had me walking past him. And I was standing there like, why do you all have me walking directly past him? Like, do you want him to run up and try to hit me? Oh, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be cool. And I said, listen, I'm telling you right now, if he touches me, I'm calling the police. I said it at the beginning of the reunion. Like, I'm not here playing with
Well, let me just be clear, because I was going to go back this year. I got a contract, and when I heard who the cast was, I said, I'm going to sit this one out. Because I've invested hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in my company. I got staff, I got a brand, and I got partners that just, I see where this is going because I had a feeling it was going to be crazy. And it was crazy. So when you walk by and you see him, what happens? Does he say anything to you?
He looked at me, I looked at him, and he was like, real, sarcastic, hey Ray. And I'm just like, girl, bye. So I sit down. It took us almost 2 hours to start the reunion. And the first segment, when you all see the reunion and Nina says, welcome to the Love and Hip Hop reunion, she does the cast intros, I'm sitting on stage. And it took us forever to start because he was that obnoxious. Arguing with Hazel, arguing with Masika. While she was doing the intros? Yeah, arguing with Masika, arguing with Monique, trying to fuss and pick fights with me.
Wait, but during the intro?
During the intro, before we could even really get started. Okay. They had took him off set.
So do you think he just came ready to go?
He came ready to go.
Okay.
And you know who Treva is, one of our executive producers. She actually removed him from the set so we could start the segment.
Okay.
And then end up having to bring him back because he was on stage as well. I mean, it was just a constant nitpick. I mean, he was talking all crazy to Masika, and then I mean, it just got to a point where it was just like me and even Hazel was sitting there like, oh my God, can we just fucking start? Please.
Because it's a long day. It
is a long day. We're dressed up, makeup, hair done. We trying to eat. We have to go to the bathroom. We got security. And finally, when he and I were having a conversation going back about fat shaming. Okay. And like every episode this season, from him jumping off of a table and throwing a champagne glass at me, from him leaping out of a chair towards me, from him at the dinner we had, the food fight we had, and him talking shit to me about my man was sucking his dick and all this other stuff. I mean, it's just been a buildup of me finally just being like, you know what? I'm irritated with him. I don't want to deal with him. And then for him to consistently have green screen every week of Mr. Ray's a fat ass, Mr. Ray's a marshmallow man, Mr. Ray's this, he's a fat powder puff, he's this, he's that. Every week it was something fat. Mm-hmm. Now, you and I are full-size guys. It don't bother me.
I'm thick.
We're thick.
I'm not gonna
We're thick in the right places, but
I'm going
it doesn't bother me.
My gym bag is in my car. I am going to the gym, and my water is somewhere in a close proximity. I'm working on me.
I'm working on it.
But I'm cute.
Listen,
here's the deal.
It ain't stopped us from getting dates or nothing.
Even before this season, I saw that he had called me fat on Baller Alert. Because I scroll through the comments. I troll online. That's what I do. Thanks. Shout out to Hollywood Live. We love you. People send me shit. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't wait to the show. I didn't go online because I don't do all of that. I live in the real world. I saw him at an event and I walked into him. I'm like, what's the issue? He perceived we had a problem. I'm like, how do we have a problem that I don't know about? Because I know about all the problems that I have. But I came at him like a man. I said, listen, if me and you have a problem, just let me know. I will let you know. Long story short, we were able to work through that. But I think the thing that I took was if he was going to try to find whatever jab at anybody who was on the cast or coming in the show to have a story. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't going to give him that.
Yeah.
So when he was calling you fat or whatever, so you're talking with him about fat shaming.
Fat shaming. And I let him know, as I said to anybody, me being my size hasn't stopped me from getting my degrees with an S. Any dollars, it hasn't stopped me from getting on this show or any gig that I've been a part of. I've been working for 10 years. And I've been the same size since you met me. I ain't lost nothing, I ain't gained nothing. It's what it's gonna be. That's what God wants me to be until I get the plastic surgery. That's just what it is. I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, I was able to do what you wanted to be with.
So what happened?
He goes on and he's like, well, Ray, you are a nice looking guy, but you're not my type of guy. And I'm sitting here like, I could give a shit. So then everybody's encouraging us on the cast to squash the beef, be cordial. I sat in my seat and said, we ain't gotta be friends. We can be cordial. Well, I just want to hug it out. We ain't got to hug.
So I'm at home and I see your video go up. I see his video go up. Of course, my writers put on Hollywood Live. Mm-hmm. So I called somebody on the cast. None of y'all, because I figured y'all were dealing with ambulances and police. It sounded violent.
There was no ambulance there.
Okay. Based on what he said, but you can clear that. So I called him. What I heard was that he acted like he was going to hug you and then snuck you.
He walked up on me to act like he was going to hug me. I was sitting there like, I just said we could be cordial. What do we need a hug for? I just said that. Like, we ain't gotta be friends and hugging buddies and we ain't gotta be sis and all that. Like, I just said, bro, we can be cool. Mm-hmm. Sit your ass down. Like, what are you walking towards me? No security was with him. Mm-hmm. He's just walking towards me.
So you both are on the stage at this point?
I'm sitting down. He's walking towards me.
No, but you guys are both on the stage.
Separate couches.
Separate sides, okay.
And he's walking towards me. I'm looking around like, where the fuck is security? Like, y'all just gonna let this man walk towards me? And I saw him cock back. And that's why I blocked myself. And that's why I have the scratches that I have all over
show
me.
Those to the camera.
You can see these scratches. I blocked myself. So that's why I don't have a black eye, a busted lip, a busted nose, scratches on my face or anything. I saw him cock back. And that's why I hid myself like this. And he was just, I guess from what Masika was sitting beside me and Monique and Fizz was beside me, they said he was kicking and scratching and hitting me like a goddamn wild animal. Mm-hmm. And then I looked up and he was gone and it hit me like, did he just attack me? Mm-hmm. And that's when I went off and I was so frustrated. Shout out to A1 for being him and Lyrica, Tiara, Masika, Monique, Fizz, Safari, Nikki, Chanel, everybody, Marcus and Brooke. Everybody came around me because it was just like it happened so fast. They came on stage, then security was around me. They were holding me down. I'm just like, what are y'all holding me for? Like, this man just attacked me. Let me stand the fuck up. And then I looked down and I saw blood and I'm like, why am I bleeding? I said, is my face bleeding or am I bleeding? And it was it was all this blood from these scratches. And I'm like, why am I bleeding? And Monique had on a white dress. I'm like, just sit down, Mo. Get away from me. Everybody get away from me. Let me process this. And it was just like, Treva came up to me. Stephanie came up to me. Stephen came up to me. All the security people from LA and New York was there. And I'm like, and I was mad and I was getting madder.
Who were you mad at the most?
I was mad at Zell because I'm like, I sat here and I said, we can be cordial. I don't have to be your friend. We don't have to shake hands. Why are you walking over to me? I was mad at security for allowing him to even get up and walk across the stage and no one budged. I was mad at the cast for pushing us to be friends. We not gonna be friends. Hazel and Masika are not gonna be friends. Princess and Moniece are not gonna be friends. There's just certain people in this cast that are not going to be friends, but we can coexist. And I said, for him to be able to get up and walk across.
I think you could have good TV moments without being violent. Like, I can tell you, like,
it should have been done when I said we can be cordial. It should have been done. Next subject. Mm-hmm. But then to keep pushing it and y'all should hug it out. Y'all should shake hands. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
So then what happened immediately after? Was he escorted out?
I think I looked up. He was gone already. He was gone. They told me he was gone. A1 went with me to my room upstairs, to my dressing room, just to clean my face up and clean my, because I was pissed, I was mad. You get mad, you just want to cry, but it's not like I cry like I'm a bitch, but it's like, I want to kill him. Like, at this point, it's like, now we need to fight. Mm-hmm. You wanted to fight, we need to fight at this point. And I'm thinking about me working with WeTV. I'm thinking about some other projects I have coming up. I'm thinking about the people that are going to watch this. I'm just thinking about everything in this moment. Like, I'm not throwing my brand away for this hood booker. And that's how I felt. That's how I felt. Like, I was just so frustrated because all season I've avoided getting physical with him. I've avoided it because you know me, Jason, and you know my temper. You know me from then to now. And I'm just trying to.
Do you think I could have did this show this season?
I don't know, Jason, because I feel like you would have been tried. Depends on what team you were on.
Yeah.
And this year it was team.
You know me when I get tested.
I've seen you put somebody in the trash can, so no, I don't think you could have done this season.
I did a good job of staying out the show.
You did a good job, but it's not that I can't handle it. If I couldn't handle it, I wouldn't allow them to keep putting me in scenes with him. It's just that I knew for a fact I'm not getting physical with him. He says something to me, I'm going to say something to him. And every time he says something to me, I had a rebuttal for it. Like, you're not going to sit here and call me fat every episode for 12 weeks and I just sit at home on Instagram, let me be the bigger person and be professional and not respond. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like at this point, in every episode that I wasn't in, where he was in, and he talked about me, and him and Alexis, fat. Like, girl, you're a slut. You're ghetto. Like,
you and Alexis ain't cool now either?
We've never been cool.
Okay. I haven't watched every single episode. I did see, matter of fact, there was the party you were at with Masika and then they all showed up.
Even with that scene, when they had me sitting on the couch and the table was moved like this way, he was standing right there and I'm like, why is this table moved this way? Why am I sitting like this? Why is he standing there? Like, is he about to, and every time he and I get into it, I'm like, you all know what he's gonna do. Like, why do you all keep putting me in positions?
Do you feel like producers set you up for that?
I don't know if I can't say that the production has ever set me up, but I do say that we're always in a position where we have to have some type of interaction. And I made it very clear, I don't want anything to do with this man. I made it very clear, he's not in my lane, we ain't in the same circles. I don't even see him at the same events that you and I would attend. Like, he's an opportunist, and I feel like he's an opportunist for this show. If I jump up and down and act like Jocelyn or any other bad bitch that's been on TV before, as most young people that get into reality TV, they want to be New York. They want to be Jocelyn. They want to be some female they've seen.
So earlier you said something about him and Joe, because I knew they were together. I personally stayed out of that relationship because I knew it got toxic, but I didn't know all the details. When you said that they had a violent relationship?
They had a very violent relationship. From what I was told from Joe and what I was told from mutual friends between Joe and I, that it was a very toxic relationship. And the way he talked about Joe on camera, it got to the point where production's like, okay, Joe's not a cast member, we can't talk about him. You know how that rule goes. So when you see the edited show, Ray just got an issue with Zell because we don't know why. Ray just came in not liking him. They don't know the backstory of who he dated and the things that they went through, and that being my friend. And as any loyal friend would do, if your friend is in a situation, they break up, you don't know that person no more.
Side note, I always tell crazy stories. I tell my business, because I feel like if I tell my business, I just remember the barbecue me, you, and Joe were at my house years ago. Do you remember the guy I was dating at the time that pissed in my bed?
Oh my God, yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Anyway, I just thought of that moment.
Oh my God.
How are you? Okay, now, so he's gone. So how did the rest of the day end? Did you stay on the rest of the reunion?
I came right back out to the reunion. I finished filming the rest of the reunion with the rest of the cast. You know, you have to see it when it
Was the audience supportive?
The audience is very supportive. The cast, especially Nikki, Masika, Moniece, they put their issues aside and they were there for me. A1, especially him and Lyrica and Tierra really were there for me. Safari, Ray J, they were all supportive. But again, like, I just don't condone violence. Like, you need to learn how to have a conversation. If Zell's not reading you or talking bad about you and he can't get his words out, he's leaping, he's jumping. You know, and I'm the type of person, I wasn't raised like that. You know how, you know my family, like Pasadena, Richmond, Virginia. Like, I went to private school, I went to college, I've been working. You know, like, this is now, I've never dealt with someone like Zell in my life. And the people that were like Zell, I never was around. My parents didn't let me go near him. So to deal with him on a professional setting where we're getting paid to be in this setting and tell our stories, tell your story. Don't act it out, if that makes sense.
All right, so the fight goes down, you're attacked, and then you call the police.
I called the police after I was in my room. I had my cell phone.
At night, like after
This
the
is
whole
not-
reunion?
No.
Oh,
The
when
reunion's
you went
going
back
on.
to your
I'm in
room.
my room. And, you know, I had my phone. I called my dad. I called my sister, letting them know what's going on. I'm pissed off. Like, this man put his hands on me. Like, I don't care if it was a kick, a scratch. I'm a white woman. You put your hands on me,
Listen,
either
I
become the law and defend myself, or I'm calling the law to protect myself.
Listen, I don't have a problem reading for filth. I don't have a problem for whatever, but if you hit me, I'm calling the police. I always say on my radio show that my mama was white. She taught me how to dial 911. And if my mouth makes you feel so compelled to attack me, either I'm gonna call the police or I'm gonna call somebody from Inglewood. But either way,
Right.
I'm not gonna personally.
I work in, and I wrote on social media on my daddy. I'm gonna have somebody waiting for him when he gets to North Hollywood, and that was the police because I knew I was calling them, and that's what I meant. And like, at the end of the day, I work in television outside of Love and Hip Hop. I'm WeTV's digital host. That means you see this face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have a PR company. This weekend we're throwing Missterray's 50th birthday party. I have to be on the carpet dealing with A-list talent, whether it be Floyd or anybody that's coming to see Missterray and support. I have to have this face available. So had I not ducked and blocked and protected myself, this would have been bad for business for me in so many ways. It affected my money.
So what the police say?
Oh, I filed a police report. He's wanted in New York. He had already left the set, so they couldn't get him there, and he wasn't in his hotel when they went there. He had already left. I guess he's out, and then he came back to Los Angeles, and he's done an interview with TMZ saying he's remorseful and he's willing to own it for his actions, but he's also a victim because I'm provoking him. Like,
Are you pressing charges on him here?
well, the fight only happened in New York, but I will get a restraining order here. Okay. Well, actually, I'm in the process of getting one actually here.
But are they going to do anything to him, or is it just going to get...
That's up to the NYPD. They've been calling me, and they followed up with it, and next thing I know, I saw the whole article on TMZ. I mean, at the end of the day, the response online has been, you know, violence is wrong is wrong. Some people are saying it's love and hip hop. What do you expect? You know, but at the end of the day, I don't expect violence. Nobody gets to put their hands on me.
Do you think producers should bring him back?
I don't think he should be brought back. He put his hands on me. He attacked Alexis. He knocked Moniece over. He knocked Lyrica over. He's physically tried to tussle and wrestle free from security to break loose. Like, he's a liability to the whole set. And like Mona and I had a conversation. I just personally, and I told her, I feel like he's a liability to the whole franchise. It's not a woman trying to attack and get mad and run. This is, you've seen him, that's a big ass man. He's a linebacker.
Okay, so you talked earlier about BET's College Hill being one of the first gay men on reality television. I mean, there have been others, but you know, one of the most, definitely for BET.
For BET, I was the first. Karamo was the first for MTV.
Yeah.
So I say Karamo and I were and Miss J that was on Top Model. He and I, the three of us were like the start of that.
Shout out to Karamo.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like as a gay man and him being a gay man that both of your portrayal in the show this season like is a good reflection of our community? Because we all ain't out there fighting and...
No, we're not all out there doing that, but Zell does not identify as gay on this show, even though we know he's gay.
What does
he says he's
identify?
bisexual and or whatever he wants to be. That's fine. I don't care what you do. I don't want to know.
Wasn't it odd that Joe Exclusive was in the show as Tierra's stylist, but it didn't say it that was his boyfriend? Why didn't they do that? I'm just not trying to get the tea. I'm just trying to ask a question.
You're definitely gonna have to watch the rest of the season. Joe does make another appearance.
Okay.
On behalf of me.
Okay.
I will say this much. I'm not 100% proud of my portrayal in terms of the arguing with Zell. I'm glad to be on television as a black gay man that owns a business, and I'm doing these events with Masika or Chanel or Safari or anybody else I'm doing it with. But unfortunately, Love and Hip Hop's not about the fairy tale and positive image. It's about the conflict within the whatever city the franchise is in. And as any gay man, you talk crazy to me, I'm gonna talk crazy to you. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just because Zell's bigger than me, taller than me, he's ghetto as all hell, I'm gonna let him talk to me crazy. Like, you throw a drink at me and say I sound like I got a trachea in my throat, I'm gonna tell you that you're ghetto and that you borrowed clothes in Keisha Cole's name and that you was moved here in a black hefty bag. Like, you're not gonna shade me and I don't shade you back.
So let's clear something up, because I got a call from somebody on the set that said, and we had talked about it, but just for the audience, because I had talked about my show. It said that you were now replacing me. You were the new Jason Lee for Love and Hip Hop. How did that come about?
I actually was shooting
like Beyonce,
scene.
I feel completely irreplaceable.
Well, the thing, and I've said this before, I can't be the new Jason Lee because I was already here before you had started.
In terms of what?
In terms of doing television.
Right.
So I can't say I'm a new Jason Lee on a reality show, but in terms of your character and what your portrayal was on that show, of having the tea or being friends with the girls on the show, that's what they were referring to. You're the new Jason Lee.
That's what producers were trying to say.
And that's what that was being said, and that's why I repeated that to Nikki in the scene. I said, well, of course they're trying to say I'm the new Jason Lee. Not saying I'm blogging or all this. You have a business, I have a business. You know celebrities, I know celebrities. We both are on the same show at this point. I've done a show previously. I've done work with other networks previously. So they were painting the picture of, oh, Missterray's messy like Jason Lee, and Missterray is gonna be on here dishing the tea and be in the middle of all the drama like Jason Lee. And I'm like, are you comparing me to Jason Lee because we're both the same size? Or are you comparing us because we got the credentials? Or are you comparing me because we both are very outspoken? And I always felt like
But it was no shade.
It was no shade at all. It was never any shade like that. You know, in terms of that.
Because I saw a tranny online said that they were hoping that I was going to come back.
Word, Jason.
Tranny. I saw a tranny online said that, well, Nikki, she ain't really a tranny. She has a vagina allegedly. But that she had said that she was hoping that I was coming back on the show because she had her arsenal. We were ready. I don't know if she was saying you and her or what that was. You hadn't even commented or liked the statement, but what was that about? Do you know?
Nikki?
Pam. Sorry, Nikki Pam. Ain't that
I was like, wait. Oh, that's my business partner for social status.
Oh,
She
sorry.
said, our arsenal.
Yeah, she said, we're ready. We have an arsenal of stuff. Because you know me, you know.
That was on Facebook, and I believe that I believe Hollywood Unlocked was having Claudia Jordan come on. And, you know,
course.
Claudia and Pam are no longer friends.
Yeah, but that don't have nothing to do with me, because I mean, I
But
don't.
y'all were all friends at one point, so I guess that's why.
You know how Hollywood is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we all hung out a lot, but you know, people grow and people move on. But I saw that comment and I thought, well, what arsenal? Because I don't really know much of what people could say about me that I haven't already put out about myself.
And that's why I say the same. That's why I say they compared us in terms of personality. Whatever you want to know about me, I've already said it, tweeted it, DM'd it, wrote it on Facebook as a status, or said it at the bar. Like, there's no secrets with me. Like, I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Not even my health status. I'm very clean. But
I thought you were gonna reveal something else.
Oh, girl, no. No.
Okay.
Nothing like that. But I feel like what happened with you and Pam and Claudia, I feel like she was referring more to Claudia than you. You know?
I don't know. But you know how it is.
But I've seen Claudia since then. We spoke.
But you know how it is, once you're on TV and once you start popping or doing things or your business starts popping, people take jabs. You can't really respond to everything. I can't sit on Facebook and reply to all the hundreds of people who tell me how to kill myself. I mean, I just got to keep growing.
Right. I mean, I've even had Milan make comments about me. You know, Milan and I don't really have an issue, and he made a comment saying Love and Hip Hop went from him and Miles and the fat messy blogger to the friend of a friend being me, and a ghetto hood booger being Zell. Like, I've heard all the shade, but again, I understand this is Hollywood. People say things to get attention, or they say things because they're mad in the moment, and then you're cool the next day.
And I see interviews where people talk about me. I don't respond to all that shit because
It's not even worth
if I'm
it.
on TV and you ain't, it is what
Who's
it
watching
is.
who?
Okay, so what else were you gonna add? You said you were gonna add something else.
I was gonna say, even though, you know, it's been years since you and I have hung out and been friends, but, you know, everybody, when I move back to LA, it's gonna be Jason versus Ray. I don't think it was ever Jason versus Ray, though.
Why, though?
It's just that you and I were in different places when I was leaving, and when I left LA versus now that I'm back, I was in a different place. I wasn't happy with a lot of things in my life, personally, professionally. I was dealing with, you know, some different things personally, and you know about those things. But now, we're adults now, we're in our 30s and we're fabulous and working. I just think we're in a different place now, so there's no issue with us.
Yeah,
and you were one of the first people that called me once this news broke on the internet. You were one of the first people that reached out.
Yeah, of course, because listen, people that know me know, like, I don't go out looking for enemies. I just don't run from them. But if I have conflict with people, even in the show when I had conflict with the people that I've had conflict with, it's usually somebody starts and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then if you're gonna start it, then we can have a problem. But I don't have problems in general with people. You know, I feel like we all out here, we should all be trying to get money. And I'll even say to Zell, you know, however he got to where he is, and there's a story on how he got there. He is working hard to develop a brand. Now, I think he just kind of tried to throw it all away the other day because it's just like
you went online and bragged.
There's certain people, like, if you know, you can style reality stars, but if you gonna really style those mega celebrities and really want to get up there and get that real coin because there's real money out here, they're not gonna be hiring people that are fighting and dragging people off of sets of shows.
Right.
I mean, it's just not.
And then he got on social media, he bragged about it, had everybody thinking I had 2 black eyes, my lip was busted, I'm in the ambulance, like.
But this is what I will say, but again, to Zell and then to you, it's just like, do you think about how to repair the brands when you get into those scenarios? Like now it's like after the show's over, because you filmed for 6 months now, we ain't working in that show for 6 months. Now is it like, okay, let me just get to work and focus on the work and not.
I'm 100% focusing back to work. Social Status, we have events coming up with Jamie Foxx. We got stuff coming up with Missterray this weekend. We already planning stuff for All-Star Weekend coming up out here. Like, I'm back to business. Like, Social Status never stopped. Me working with WeTV never stopped. Me developing and working on other projects never stopped. Love and Hip Hop was a platform to reintroduce Missterray.
Would you go back?
Would I go back to Love and Hip Hop for another season? It's definitely gonna have to be a real conversation. I'm definitely gonna have to be very clear as to what story I want to tell at this point. Because now I'm coming back. I don't want to come back as a victim. I don't want to come back as that. Because I don't feel like I'm a victim. I just feel like I was in a situation with someone that was extremely aggressive and not professional. So I definitely feel like I have a story to tell. If I do come back, I'm just gonna always be first things first, Social Status, doing my event, exploring my relationships with some other cast members I might not have filmed with. But I mean, the reunion hasn't even aired yet, so it's a possibility that I could be back. I don't know yet.
Okay, so if you had to look in the camera and tell Zell one thing or say one thing to Zell, what would you say?
You ready to go to happy hour?
Okay, well listen, congratulations on the successful season. Hopefully you come back. Who knows, I might come back next season.
Would they be ready for us?
Well, I don't know. I mean, listen, I just don't know how people, you know, because I feel like when people come to the set, it's just like, let me have my moment. Like, Farrah Fawcett is dead. Like, come on. And
we won't be dragging each other across the stage.
No, I don't have any intention on dragging.
We're too old for that. My knees hurt sometimes when I get a little too
I ain't too old, and I got people on call. But I'm
exactly.
If I come back, you know, I like try to be the truth meter and just keep it 1,000 and.
Don't try to keep it 1,000 and be extra like Hazel came back being extra.
I loved Hazel this season.
I thought she was very entertaining, but I just thought it was a lot.
I mean, I may not jump out of a helicopter, but I might parachute in from a fucking plane. All right, we out. Peace.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Missterray, and I'm giving you the keys to Hollywood Unlocked.